Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is the second part of the series. I did this video in one session, but then I had to split it on two parts to make it easy to consume. So I hope you enjoy it. So let's jump in. Now that you have that goal set, then when it comes to investing, it could be as simple as buying the S&P 500 index, which is represented by the symbol SPY. SPY is an ETF that tracks the index, and you can buy fractional share in it. You can start with $50, $100, $100,000, $1 million, it doesn't matter. This is a very liquid instrument, and it's basically you're buying the 500 big cap stocks in the US. Investing in an index is better than zero. Okay, even with all the risk that the index carries, which is not performing for long periods or big drawdowns, still you should invest at least in an index fund. Now, once you get into investing and just learn a little bit, then I advise the following. I advise that you split your investment fund. You should split it in two buckets. Bucket number one, which is investing, and bucket number two is speculation. So investing should be 90 to 95%, and speculation should be 5 to 10%. So bucket number one, which is investing, this will encapsulate tactical asset allocation portfolios, lazy portfolios, currency basket like the DXY index, farmland, and then the speculation fund. That fund, you can not gamble with it, but take high risk investments with it. So for example, once you accumulate a little bit of money, you can do angel investing, or you can invest in startup companies through friends or associates or family members, or you can speculate on single stocks, single IPOs, and so on and so forth. Basically, these are high risk, high reward investments, and they should be capped at 5 to 10%, because these investments can go to zero, and if they go to zero, then you should be able to recoup them through the bigger bucket. So you shouldn't be more than 5 to 10% in this bucket. Now, when you are starting, most likely you are bombarded with all kind of information, and of course the American dream, which is owning a house. I am not a pro buying a house in the beginning, or even later on if you don't have the funds for it. So this is a controversial subject. Many people advocate for real estate. Even with rising real estate, it's you should look at return on investment. So buying a house involves, first of all, time for you to search and look for a house, and then paying the agent a commission to buy or sell the house, paying lawyer fees, paying inspection fees, paying insurance fees, and of course then paying interest rate on the mortgage, and property tax and maintenance. So all that accumulates to a lot of fees, and you should take all that into consideration before making an investment in a house. Now, renting, there's nothing wrong with renting at all. In fact, I highly advocate to rent. Many wealthy people also advocate renting, unless, of course, your situation is different. For example, your house is part business, part a house. Basically, you should just calculate, just do the numbers. Once you spend, I don't know, 10, 50, 100, a million on this house, what's the return on that house? Okay? And compare that to a simple 7% return average for a simple index fund, like we mentioned, the S&P 500. So you will find in many studies that real estate doesn't compare to index funds. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean real estate is not an investment vehicle. It is, but not in the beginning. So what do I mean by that? So in the beginning, you want to aggressively grow your portfolio. Aggressively meaning you're taking high risk, but you're looking for high returns with it. And high returns meaning double digits. So real estate rarely goes into that unless like you're in certain pocket and that pocket rise up to 10% every year or whatever. But even then it's hard. Like, I mean, the most I think I've seen is you double your money in 6 years, and that's really a bubble thing. While bubble in stocks, usually you double your money in 2 or 3 years. So, but real estate is an asset, and you should put it in your portfolio, but not in the beginning. In the beginning, you should just invest. And if you really want real estate, then you should invest in REITs, which they represent basically brick and mortar real estate. They represent commercial real estate like malls or offices or residential real estate. But really, investing all your money in a house that you're going to live in or even rent it out, that's really a miserable way to have return on your money. And like I mentioned before, the first 5 years is the most critical, and you need the highest return then. And so investing in real estate should be either no in the beginning or through REITs, or later on when you are, again, if your situation is different and you're making money out of this rental property more than 8%, let's say if you Airbnb it, then that's fine. Now later on in life, this will be different. Once you achieve $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, then this would be an asset different than what you have in the financial markets. So a rental property, even though if the return is low, let's say 6%, it's good to diversify away from the financial markets. So that's different then, and that rental property should be, let's say, 10% of your portfolio. But in the beginning, I don't advise putting all your savings into a house because it's going to save you rent. No, it doesn't work. And if you put the numbers, you can see clearly that it doesn't make any sense, because then your return on investment is really low. So once we establish those pillars and foundations, then now it's just a number game. Number game meaning that you need to decide on some figures, which is what's the amount, what's the goal should be set at. And that goal is different for every person, because every person has a different income, different savings, different age, different area, different geography they live in, so different expenses. So, but let's say some general guidance. So basically, if you live in a rural area and probably you can buy a house for $50,000, and your expenses could be very low, and you could be making some income online through consulting or working online. So then maybe $250,000, $300,000 invested should be enough to continue that life comfortably enough. So I think let's say a minimum goal in this case should be 500K. So a minimum goal today, if I have 500K today, I should be able to live somewhere rather comfortably. And then this is again depends on you. So this is totally different than somebody's goal to live in a Manhattan penthouse priced at $70 million with a helicopter waiting for him at the pier and a limo to drive him there. So that alone needs 25 million invested just to keep everything running. Now, of course, this is a wide spectrum, and then there is every shade in between, but you get the idea. You need to set numbers. Now, this number is not set in stone. You can always shoot for more, but you should not shoot for less, regardless of what your situation is now. You should always shoot for this. And this number game is also a mindset. So if you set your mind that, yes, I'm going to achieve this goal, then you will achieve this goal. If you set your mind that this is too far, I'm going to never reach there, you will not reach there. Because your mind will sabotage whatever you're doing. It's all in the subconscious. And I can bring this closer. Whatever you grew up with, those beliefs are hard wired in your brain, even though there is no proof behind them probably. But they are hardwired because your subconscious mind makes them a reality for you. So setting goals and believing in those goals, that should set a new reality for you to achieve them. And then you should be able to achieve them. And of course, breaking that goal step by step also very helpful to your subconscious mind to achieve them. And those steps, again, I'm not going to be switched from today I have nothing to tomorrow I have $1 million. No, I'm going to go through steps. Look, I need to earn income, and then I need to save money, and then I need to invest this money, and this money has to grow for a certain period of time, and then I can reach $1 million. So when you said it like this, then it's more believable to you, and by you I mean your subconscious mind, and then it will be achievable. So let me show you a simple calculation on how to reach our goals. So as you can see from this compound interest calculator, if we start with $2,000, making aggressively 20% per year for 4 years, and then we are depositing $500 per month with 20% increase per year, that investment should reach about $50,000. So this 20% means in the beginning first year you're adding $500 a month. So that's here, $6,000. Then the second year you will increase that 20%. So you'll deposit $7,200. And then the third year you'll deposit 86, and then last year you'll deposit 10. This assumed because you're making more as you progress in your job or in your career. Of course, this can be it can be 50%, it can be 10%. This is, again, I'm just generalizing this just to give you an idea. So, but once my goal is to reach 50. Because let's say after 50, I will stop. That's it. I will not be depositing more for the first 4 years. And actually, I told you about 5 years. So let's make it 5. And this should be 77,000 now. So now after 5 years, I put my heart and soul into this and reach about $77,000. So let's put 77. And now I have 20 years and making, let's say, 15%. That's 1.2 million in 20 years. And if I make 14%, that's still 1 million. And if I make 13%, that's still roughly close to 1 million. So anywhere between 13 and 15, which is doable with tactical asset allocation portfolios, or even doable with lazy portfolios, but with margin. But let's say somewhere in the middle, then you will be there at 1 million. And remember, you stopped contributing after 5 years. Of course, if you keep contributing, then this would be a lot higher. And we can see that. Let's say after 5 years, you will contribute because now you're making more money. And let's say you will contribute 1,000 a month. Or let's say 800 to make it 10,000 a year. So now you'll be at 2 million. Of course, your 800 a month at year 10 will not make sense anymore. Because let's say at year 10 you are at $400,000 and you're adding 10,000. So it will not have a big impact like in the beginning. And that's why I keep repeating this. The impact is the first 5 years. You need to put as much as possible, like everything. Sell your bike, sell your camera, do whatever, work 18 hours a day, delivery, your job, whatever you can do online, because the first 5 years is critical. And this has nothing to do with your age. This has to do with the amount of investment, time. And as you can see, the curve is not linear, it is exponential. So at 20 years, I'm at 2 million. At 23 years, I'm at 3 million. And then in 5 years, I doubled my money again. So you see, 20 years to make 2 million. and then only 5 years more to make more 2 million, like doubling your money. Because again, the curve is exponential. And of course, this keeps going. So let's say you add 5 more years. So now you double your money again. So every 5 years, it's like doubling your money. So imagine if you start, let's say at 20 doing this, then at 55, you are at 2 million. You're still working. So you add on 10 more years, and then you'll be at 7.6 million. And now you are at 65. So the more you put in the beginning, which was this one, the first 5 years is critical. The more money you add in, the better your investment is gonna perform. And this is true for all kind of investment. Like if I change the rate of return here, it doesn't matter. If it's 5, if it's 20, if it's 100, it's always the first 5 years is the most critical time to put all your money in. If you don't have that time or luxury of time, then of course you can do it for your kids, grandkids, whoever. Because remember, we want to get a better financial future, but also we want to teach our family members, our kids, our grandkids, our friends to have a better financial future also. And so each one has their own journey, but still the concept is the same. Invest as much as possible in the first 5 years. Forget all the things that you want. Just focus on investing, and then after 5 years, you can do whatever you like. Of course, the more you add, the better it is, even after 5 years. But I'm just saying because to be realistic, you still want to enjoy life. So you should invest, let's say, less after 5 years. Or, you know, if you get a better job, then you keep investing the same amount of money. So as you can see from the figures, you can do this. It's doable. It's not something impossible. And it doesn't matter what age you are in or what stage you are in your life or what your income is. You should just start investing. This is really a simple thing to do, and everybody should be doing it. And even if you don't achieve your goal, you will still be much better ahead of what you are today. And believe me, your future self will thank your current self. Because really investing is just an easier path to elevate you financially. Now, this applies to everybody again, and I'll give you an example. Bill Gates, one of the richest people on earth, is still till today investing, even if he had billions. His Bill and Melinda Foundation invests in everything, including farmlands. They're actually the biggest landowner in the United States. They've been buying farmland for the past 6 to 10 years. So you see, everybody needs to invest, rich or poor, billionaire or thousandaire. So you all need to invest your money to elevate your position financially. So I hope this message resonates with you, that you really need to invest. And I really hope for everyone to have a better financial current and future. And in the coming videos, I will be showing you how to do lazy portfolios, and I'll also show you how to do tactical asset allocation portfolios. And both of these are, again, really easy to implement, and they will give you higher returns than the S&P 500 index with a lower drawdown. So basically better risk-adjusted return. Also, on another note, I would like to announce that I'm going to be launching a Discord server. So everybody who have the same interest, basically in finance, of course, that can talk and ask questions and communicate with each other a lot easier than the current way what we have on YouTube comments, because I think that's a much better way to communicate with each other. And also I will be posting my trades on the server, and hopefully do some Q&As, live Q&As. So that's coming soon also in the coming couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. And don't forget to smash the like button. Really, Google algos like that. And also you can subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you'll be notified when new video get uploaded to the channel. And until the next video, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.